standing outside waiting for you. You were always taking time, babe.
What is up and good morning everyone. Welcome back to the Duramax Diesel channel. Today, make some more progress on the dually build with the dogs helping. Today we're going to be tearing down this LB7 motor. I got a GoPro set up for time lapse too, so we will have the whole thing. We're basically gonna get it all torn down, get the cam, crank, everything out of it, and then get it ready to go to the machine shop to get bored, cleaned, set up, get the cam and crank keyed, and then yeah, we'll get it back, start putting it together, make sure everything's solid, and yeah. So first things first, what we're gonna do, just because of the way it's on the stand, we're gonna pull this front cover off. So the front cover is off, but before we go any further over there, we're actually going to go ahead and hoist the motor up and pull the rear cover off, so that way we can get to all the stuff we need to. Pretty much the next step. We do have our trusty Haynes manual out here that we're following, just to be sure. Done it a few times, so I want to make sure I keep everything organized in order. So we're going to hoist it up, try and get all this backing plate loose and get it off. And then just so you guys know, there are two bolts in here that actually hold the lower oil pan on. So this has to come off before you drop the upper oil pan. So yeah, we're gonna hoist it up a little bit. That way we can take these bolts off. I have to grab the other ones that are used for this, because these are larger than these bolts. So just make sure to have the right bolts for everything. I'm gonna go grab those, start pulling this off, and yeah, should be good. Alright, so I know the video isn't going to portray it, but hear me out on this one. Definitely pull the oil pan before pulling the rear cover off. I thought I could get around it, popping it up and then over and kind of out and stuff. But there are guide pins, so you will mess them up, which I did on the bottom. So definitely make sure that you don't do that. But we have the oil pan off, the rear cover off. We're going to go ahead and start getting ready to pull the oil pickup off. Next, we're going to begin pulling the pistons and rods out, so we're just going to start loosening them up and getting ready to slide them out of these holes. Shouldn't be too bad. This block isn't as crusty as the last one, so go ahead, do them one by one, loosen them, get them off, and then slide them out. And after that, we'll be able to start pulling. Well, we can probably pull the front stuff now too, doesn't really matter, but yeah, getting there. Just kind of gonna keep tearing it down. So we're getting the last of the pistons out. We got two left to go. Stopped and took a quick lunch break. Pretty much everything's going good. I don't really care about the cylinder walls too much. They are a little banged up, but we're getting it bored, so it doesn't really matter too much. We're going to get the last two pistons out, then work on taking all the front gears off, and then we will be able to pull the oil pump off and then pull the crank out. So going pretty good. We just need to get down to it. So now we are going to remove the oil pump drive gear bolt. And you can use a hex key in the oil pump to hold it, and then a 19 mil to take the bolt off. It is a 5/16 hex key, so we're gonna go ahead and break this free now. So with a small punch or something, you're gonna wanna come in here and tap as close to the center as possible to get this reluctor wheel and everything off. So there you go. That is pretty much what we need to do. Now we're gonna go ahead and take the oil pump itself off, which you can see the Allen keys right around it that hold it on. We already took the oil pickup off, as you can see, so that should be it to take out the oil pump. Next, we're gonna remove the camshaft timing gear. Luckily enough, we have a pin back here that is gonna hit the side here, so we're just gonna turn this until the pin stops the crank from spinning, and then just break the nut free. But you can use locks or anything. Usually you can put 2 bolts back in that hold the flywheel on back in, put a pry bar in there. Kind of whatever you need to do to get it off. We're gonna go ahead and take that off next and work on getting the camshaft out. After the bolt's off, you can wiggle the cam timing gear off. It might take a little bit of persuasion. We're gonna take off this camshaft retaining plate, I guess you could call it. I don't know the actual name. We're gonna take this off, and then we should be able to slide the camshaft right out of here. Because of the position of the motor, we did have to pull out these lifters because they didn't retract fully. You can pull them out beforehand, or like this side was facing down, so gravity pulled them down, so we were able to get the camshaft out. Now we're gonna break all the bolts free and pull the crankshaft out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and find a box or something to put these in, that way they don't get beat up or anything, but should be pretty easy. We're just gonna take these bolts off and the side ones along the whole way, and the crankshaft should be ready to come out. Alrighty, all the main caps have been removed, crank is removed and placed in a box. We're gonna go over some of the bearings and the crank journals to see if they're okay. Potentially replacing the crank. Pretty much all that's left is I'm gonna take the oilers out and the other side of roller lifters, and that's pretty much it for the engine teardown. So we got the motor loaded up in the HHR. I got a lot of cleaning to do, but basically that's gonna do it for today, guys. We did get the freeze plugs out and all the oil galley plugs, just to have the block cleaned and everything. We're gonna have the cam and the crank checked and polished, possibly, and new bearings put in. Probably have the motor balanced and all that good stuff. So yeah, pretty much that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a thumbs up. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and stick along with the build. It's going in this truck down the road after the suspension and transmission is built. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we are going to get it done. So thank you guys, as always. I'm gonna head out.